How do you get commissioned to write furry smut? You're lucky I like you, Cookie. I'm gonna tell the story. So like most crazy stories, this starts with Dungeons & Dragons. Even as a young kid, I was really interested in playing D&D. And so when we first got the internet and I connected to America Online, I did a couple searches on role-playing. You should not let a kid in middle school do unfiltered searches for role-playing on the 90s internet. So I learned how to play Dungeons & Dragons. I also learned about a whole bunch of other types of role-play. And it was around that time that I learned what a furry was. And I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. So I started following a bunch of different furry artists. When I was really young, I only followed Safe for Work stuff, but, as I grew older and I went through puberty, puberty's gonna pube, and I just made friends with a lot of these artists who later went on to become professional artists. A lot of them work in, the comics industry now. There's one particular I still help out. He's from Chile, and he needs help doing translation for his comics and stuff. And I help both with his, non-furry comics and his furry stuff, which are two separate accounts. And so I help out with his Patreons to make some money on the side. But I only did that after I had long been established as a professional writer. And so, he thought it was pretty cool that a professional writer could do localization for him, and I thought it was pretty cool that I could help this guy that I was following since I was a kid. And then fans of his work eventually came to me and were like, can you write stuff for me? And I was like, sure, why not? And then when more people wanted to get into that sort of commission work, I just pointed them in the right way, and then they set up their own commission services. I'm not ashamed of it, because it pays really well. I'm going to lay things out here. I'm not embarrassed of talking about money. When I worked for Newegg, the best article rate I got was about $200 per article. The best games journalism rate I ever got was $500 from PSM Magazine. And my other journalism, like science journalism or newspaper journalism, doesn't even pay that much. But when it comes to writing furry commissions, I get $500 for writing nothing. Of course, it's never going on one of my professional resumes. I don't do it under my real name or even this name. But before I got sponsored, it's the reason I wasn't homeless. That's sort of the dirty secret of American capitalism. Furries are holding up the entire economy. If you need to make money quick, start doing work for furries. They will pay you and they will treat you well. In fact, that's why I don't feel ashamed. Because the fact that the furry community is so incredibly generous and genuinely wants to pay fair or even good wages for the stuff they want really makes it just one of the better and more moral communities out there on the internet. So what do I care if someone judges me for it? I'm still making the money.